said to be one of Nevada's most haunted homes. From the spirits of children who've long been dead, to past staff who even in death go about their chores with the dedication they showed in life. Who haunts this Victorian property and what are their stories? Welcome back, dissectors, to another haunted location, as today we dissect the hauntings and history of Mackay Mansion. This property really does seem to have been a place that was much loved by its past residents and staff, a home that oozes beauty and charm. Situated at 291 South D Street in Virginia City, Nevada, this three-storey property is simply charming. Built in 1859 by George Hurst, a young mine superintendent, he purposed his home not only as his place of residence, but the location for his mining office too, something many mining companies did back then. After making a fortune, Hurst decided to leave his home, selling it to a young Irish-born man called John Mackay in 1871. Now, starting out on the bottom rung of his career as a miner, Mackay quickly climbed up the business ladder due to his training in constructing mine shafts, being paid in mine stock. Before long, Mackay was a rich and successful man, renaming his new home Mackay Mansion. When the Great Virginia Fire took place in 1875, destroying much of the town and causing around $12 million worth of damages, the Mackay Mansion survived unscathed. Mackay lived in his home with one of his business partners, Mr. James Fair, who rented out one of the bedrooms. These two men, along with James Flood and William O'Brien, discovered the largest silver deposit in North America, gaining them the nickname the Big Four. Now, something worth noting here is that John Mackay was very gifted at woodwork and built much of the original furniture himself, including the hand-carved staircase which leads to the living room, kitchen, parlour and office. It's one of only a few properties which today boasts its original carpeting, wallpaper and chandeliers too, as well as having the very first working bathroom in Virginia City. John Mackay didn't die in his beloved home though. On July 20th, 1902, at the age of 70, he was away on a business trip to London when he suddenly collapsed, dying of heart failure. He was buried in Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn in a mausoleum so grand it's been described as by far the most impressive mausoleum in the cemetery, atop a shady hill. The mausoleum had originally been built for Mackay's son John Jr., who died in 1895 from a horse riding accident, something that Mackay and his wife Marie never got over. The home has had paranormal tales attached to it for decades. One entity encountered quite often is that of a little girl dressed in white. Actor Johnny Depp was staying in one of the upstairs bedrooms of the Mackay Mansion while filming his movie Dead Man when he received an unexpected visitor. He later explained that the little girl in white surprised him one night, sitting at the bottom of his bed. But this young spirit is not the only child to still call the grand house home. There are also two other spirits called Lily and Emma, who apparently go up to visitors, tugging on their clothing to get their attention. In one of the upstairs bedrooms too, staff complained that one of the children likes to climb into bed each night, leaving the room dishevelled. No one knows exactly how these young spirits died, but life was hard in frontier mining towns, with disease being a huge killer back then, which was probably what ended their lives. In the kitchen, you'll find the spirit of an old colonel, who in the latter years of his life enjoyed sitting in there reading or relaxing. Psychics claim to still feel his presence lingering in the kitchen, and also believe he is the spirit heard walking up and down the stairs, as well as making unexplained noises on the third floor of the Mackay Mansion. On the second floor, you will find the living room, and in there, a female spirit, thought to be Mrs. Mackay, as it was her favourite area. She can be found sitting in a chair in this room, but she doesn't just sit and relax. Others have seen her floating around the room too. Now, as I said earlier, there are also staff members who seem to take their duties very seriously and decided to continue serving the household even to this day. A spirit of a young maid can be physically seen making never-ending trips up and down the staircase, busy in her duties, trying to complete a to-do list that will never be finished. Visitors to the property have also shared their stories of seeing a shadow man, who many believe is John Mackay, walking about the property, never tied to one specific location. This home truly does appear to have a lot of paranormal history attached to it, and has seen many paranormal research groups venturing to discover what proof they can find of the supernatural. Since 1961, this home has been added to the National Register of Historic Places, and it's easy to see why. With all of its mining history and ghost stories, people love to take in the ghost tours offered, but also hire out the mansion for weddings and other celebrations. So what do you think about this haunted location? Do you feel that Mackay Mansion is as haunted as people claim? Is there a particular spirit you feel sorry for or would love to communicate with if you had the chance? I think it would be interesting to speak to the young girl in white, as the fact she keeps showing herself to people makes me believe she wants to share her story, and maybe in time she'll find a way to do just that. If you enjoyed today's haunted location, please consider showing the channel a little love with a like, comment, or even subscribing for more haunted places. So until next time, my friends, stay safe out there.